we've now sent out over 6 million bracelets to 105 countries around the world. O Magazine distributed 85,000 of these bracelets to South Africa. So when we started doing this, our volunteer leader was doing some research on quotations about complaining. And this was as we were starting. And he found something you had said about complaining. And it has become our motto. And so our goal is to give 60 million bracelets to the world. That's 1% of the world's population. We feel if we can get just 1% to give up complaining, it'll positively transform the world. And so we have now hit 10% of that. And when we got to 6 million, we wanted to honor the person who, without even knowing it, has inspired us the entire way. And so this is the 6 millionth bracelet here. And it says, whereas the goal of a complaint-free world organization is to encourage people to redirect their minds towards more positive, constructive, and rewarding lives, and to positively inspire at least 1% of the global population, 60 million people, to become complaint-free. Whereas the life and works of Dr. Maya Angelou represent the ideals of the organization and are an inspiration to millions around the world, therefore it be it resolved that the Board of Directors of a Complaint-Free World is honored to present the 6 millionth bracelet to Dr. Angelou. And we have your quotation here. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. So it is with much great appreciation. It is my honor to present this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I live by it. You don't like something, change it. You can't change it, change the way you look at it. And when she had the only black-owned store in our town. So she would call me out from the other part of the house, which was where we lived. And she'd say, "Sister," and I knew what I was going to face. I knew exactly. But of course I went. And I'd look out the window and there'd be somebody coming down the hill, coming to the store. It would be a complainer. And she wouldn't say anything until the man would walk into the house, into the store. And my grandmother would ask, "Mr. Phillips, how you feel today?" And he'd say, "Well, Sister Henderson, I can't stand this heat. You know, it get all around their neck. I can't shave." And my grandmother said, and then look at me like, "Hey, did you get that?" And she'd say, and then she'd go in to fill his order. Or a woman would come down. My grandmother would ask him, Sister Jackson, how do you feel this morning? And she would say, "You know, sister, I can't stand the winter because it just makes me itch and then my clothes don't feel right." My grandmother said, And finally, each time the person would leave, my grandmother would say the same things to me. She said, "Sister, there are people all over the world, rich and poor, black and white, who went to sleep when that person went to sleep. They've never wakened. Sister, their beds became their cooling boards. Their blankets became their winding sheets. And they'd give anything for just 5 minutes of what that person was complaining about." Pastor Bowen, you know, it is said that you have so many teachable moments. My grandmother hit me at every one.
It sounds like
at every one of mine. She didn't miss one. Twice a year she would call me out. And I then went on to write a piece which is for everybody, but it's dedicated particularly to women. Don't whine. First, it does nothing to the reason for your complaint. More importantly, it lets a brute know that a victim is in the neighborhood. It's very dangerous. It's dangerous to you physically and spiritually and mentally. It's dangerous for your prosperity. For your prosperity. Your posterity and your prosperity. It's very dangerous. So I think you'd have to get up very early in the morning or stay up very late at night to hear me complain.